Is a new Asgardian along with a Thor rework coming? Is MODOK gonna make an AIM team relevant again? And what is the mysterious new tag that is coming soon to the game? We're gonna talk about all of this and more in the weekly news update with Khasino. But before I get into the news, I do want to mention the sponsor of this video, ClanHQ. What is ClanHQ, you may ask? Well, it is a new fully featured messaging app, and it is free on Android and iOS right now. It's got all kind of features that integrate with over 75 different games, including Marvel Strike Force. Yes, you got a fully featured chat with stickers, GIFs, photos, badges, and so much more. You have a notification setting so that you can tag people and see everyone that reads your messages. Good stuff. You can store your game data, so anyone that you want will be able to check out your entire roster with just a click of a button. And that's really valuable if you're an alliance leader that is looking for new members, or if you are someone that is looking for a brand new alliance. You could find up a perfect match with just a few clicks. Now, because your game data is integrated with the app, you can show off things like your total collection power, you can show off your strongest team power, and you can show this off to anyone that you want, and it's all right in the app itself. And hey, when Marvel Strike Force gets its API that has been rumored, integrating your stuff with this app will be so simple, and it's all gonna be in real time. Now, I think once FoxNext releases that API, this app is gonna blow up. So right now, it is your chance to be one of the first to start using it. So check out the link in the description, guys. You can learn more about ClanHQ because they're adding new features all of the time. So if you're ready for the news, let's go smash it.
ValleyFlyin.
Hey, what's up, Valley Maniacs? ValleyFlyin here. I am back, and you know what time it is. It is time for the news. There is so much to cover, and as usual, my partner in crime, Khasino. What is up, brother? How are you doing?
After today, I'm doing fantastic. What's going on?
Oh my goodness, and if you guys don't know what he's talking about, you guys missed out. Huge live stream with the community manager. We're definitely going to talk about that. A lot of good stuff revealed on that. A bunch of other things happened. We get some kits revealed. We got some new raids, and yes, more importantly, this live stream. So definitely save a lot of that stuff for the end.
Good week for news.
It is. This is big. This is a big week. Much bigger. It's like the news I was missing last week. They gave us the normal stuff and more. So it's crazy, right?
Definitely. So normally we go pretty long with these. This one might be a really long one, but I mean, there's juicy data mines. Like you said, we got a kit leak. We got lots of fun reveals during the live stream. We got some teasers on Reddit of upcoming stuff. So yeah,
yes,
plenty to dig in.
Very fun. Now, I do want to remind you guys, I am playing on BlueStacks, so click on the link there if you want to check it out. It is in the description. Patreon and Valley merch. But let's get into the news. First thing that pretty much happened after we talked last week, Minerva added to premium orbs. This was discussed for so long. Reaction to this?
Finally.
I'm pretty much in agreement.
I knew you were going to ask me that, and it still caught me off guard. Good.
Nice. All right. I don't know if there's any other reaction necessary. Start.
No, but I did want to make a joke. Just this is a funny fun fact. So some people have been hoarding premium orbs. Not many, but some people have been hoarding premium orbs. And this is pretty much like the now is the time to open all your premium orbs. And so we had someone, one of my regular viewers, one of my mods actually, who has like 448 premium orbs saved. Yeah. And we were joking that the reason they took so long to add Minerva to the premium orbs is they were waiting for him to open his.
Yeah. And so, what did he pull? What did he pull?
I don't know if he actually opened them yet.
I haven't opened mine. I'm still hoping for Falcon, so we might talk about that later. All right, Stark Tech bug was discovered a few weeks ago. We got compensation for it this week. What are your thoughts on this? You like what we got? You think we needed more?
I mean, I was pretty... We got all good stuff, right? We got lots of raid heals in time for the final Ultima 7.
Yes.
We got raid energy in time for the final Ultima 7. Got some power cores, which are always nice. And we got 50 T4, so everything we got was good.
Yeah.
It's tough to know how far back this issue was, so I don't think they could have compensated us generously enough. It was probably a long... For all we know, this has been happening since they introduced Start Tech, but...
Very possible, very possible. Tinfoil hat time. You think this was designed as compensation to help us finish in Ultima 7? Those alliances that were 60% and just need a little extra resources to push. Do you think that's exactly what this was for?
I think that it was a combination of that, and its raid is where you felt it the most heavily. Like, yes, it could mess you up in campaigns as well, because it was like any PvE content, but like Arena and Alliance War, Blitz, that's where StarTech already came into play. So it was the PvE game modes that were being messed with in particular raids, and this was also like when everyone was all up in arms over the Gamma raid being too difficult. So I think that they just wanted to kind of appease that whole situation and like, here, this should make raid easier.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Better than the tinfoil hat. Speaking of Ultima 7, they're over. What were your thoughts on this limited time event?
It was really tough, but it wasn't unreasonably difficult. My strike team in particular was able to 100% our final attempt at Ultima 7. Not my entire alliance, but my strike group. In fact, they made me look bad. I was excited to do the final mini-boss and the final node on stream. I saved it. And then, and I timed it so that it would be the same day as the front page stream. And I'm there, I'm on front page stream, and I'm like, all right, we're gonna take down the final mini boss, the final boss of Ultima 7. Let's get it, guys! And I click to jump into my strike group, and it's 100%ed already.
It happens. It happens. They know you all too well.
They swipe my T4s. They totally robbed me of that. So.
Strike team, no swiping.
Right, for real. But,
when do you think this thing is gonna come back?
I don't know. I don't imagine it'll be gone for too long, but you never know with Fox Next. Hopefully it comes back soon. Just want to remind people, they did say that the rewards won't be as good as they were once it's daily. So, you know, if they come back and people are like, what? The rewards are worse, what the hell? It got nerfed. No, they said the rewards are temporarily increased while it's a once a week thing. Once it's an everyday thing, they'll be a little bit less. So no idea what those rewards will be. Just want to set people's expectations appropriately.
Yes. But during this initial phase, they were very good. I'm very pleased with the rewards that they did with that. All right, Gamma is also done. What are your thoughts on Gamma? I know we're going to touch on it with your live stream conversation review later, but what before that conversation, what were your thoughts with these Gamma raids?
They were pretty tough. Yeah, I mean we'll get into the meat of it later, which is that the mini bosses and the bosses were super tough. Yeah. In particular in my lane too, the later lanes you had Mercenary Brotherhood and X-Men, and the problem is those aren't raid teams at all, really, and it really limited who you could use, and there wasn't even like a way to kind of make it into a raid team. They're just not raid characters. They have long cooldowns. They don't have healing, really. You know, maybe like just Wolverine does, but so, yeah. Oh, Sabretooth too, but they're just not a raid team, so.
You really have to work with your raid partner on that, because there's those 4 nodes of those guys, and the mini-boss, you have to time it, so it's X-Men, Brotherhood, or one of your teams hitting you, and then you guys all teaming up the mini-boss, so it required a lot of coordination.
Now this isn't going to be an option for most people, but for the very first one of those nodes, I was actually getting by on my mercenary leftovers. I was able to use Merc Riot Guard, Merc Lieutenant, Killmonger, Deadpool, and I think for like just my 5th, I reused like
Storm,
one person.
Storm charged her up, maybe?
Might have been Storm. I think I tried a few different people in that spot, but I was usually able to get either one node done or most of one node done with that team, and then I could bring in another team and basically just use basic attacks and not waste cooldowns and knock it down. Killmonger and Deadpool are in particular pretty good for raids, and Merc Lieutenant's not bad. He does a little bit of healing, but Deadpool and Killmonger do a good job of healing themselves, so.
It's very good team, especially if you got them leveled up because of that self-heal. And that Merc Lieutenant does have that heal on his passive, so a little bit of sustainability for raids, right?
It was just a little extra option. It was a way for me to do another node in addition to my one node wonder Brotherhood and one node wonder X-Men.
Well, you could save one of those teams for the mini boss when you do that way. So.
Right.
course. All right, we did get a new raid. Gamma ended, Alpha begins. What are your thoughts? I know you played through it just a little while ago. What are your thoughts on these Alpha raids now that they are back?
I'm not that impressed. Now, I've only done the early nodes, so I don't remember exactly how tough the later nodes are, but it's been pretty easy so far. I'm in the Cosmic lane, and I've recently been powering out my Captain Marvel and my Rocket, so I've been blowing through this pretty quickly. But the main thing for me is, and I'm actually getting confused, Alpha's Black Panther, right?
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah, so that's where I'm just kind of phoning it in on Alpha altogether. Again, first world problems here. I realize not everyone can relate to this, but I have a 7-star Black Panther. So I actually find myself like preferring, I wish this was more like the other raid orbs. And I understand if most people are happy with this, leave it. But like how the other raid, at least we had an orb where even though I got mostly junk from it, occasionally I got something I needed.
Yeah.
This, I'm just literally always going to get Black Panther and never going to be excited about it. So this is an Ultimus shard raid for me. So
yeah, well, there's still those gold orbs, which get anyway. So, but yeah, I found it easier, a lot easier than the previous time it was here. And personally, I would prefer those trash orbs from those brawler orbs that we got from these the gamma raids than just a character that is already farmable.
Right.
When they added him to this raid, it was the first time they added a farmable character. And
yep. Yeah. Now I will say this kind of relates back to the Q&A with the community manager. One thing that it wasn't really a question, I just kind of tacked this on at the end, but pretty much everyone wanted me to communicate this, so I made sure to do so loud and clear, which is pretty much everyone is unhappy with the Wakandans.
Except for the people like me that didn't really invest in them.
Right.
Sorry.
No, by all means. A lot of people wanted the Wakandans stronger, so if nothing else, that message was very clearly received. It was heard loud and clear, and pretty much the entire chat was behind that message.
He actually looked like he wrote it down when you were talking about the notes of the Wakandans team. So yeah,
it was like, note the Wakandans not impressing people. And so, if nothing else, I think that there's a realistic chance that the Wakandans could get improved based on that feedback. And so, who knows what they'll do for Black Panther, but it could be something to
They don't need much. They just need a few tweaks here and there, and they would be a very, very good, viable raid team, in my opinion.
Yep, they need some tweaks to Shuri's heal. It needs to cleanse first and then heal. Would make a big difference.
M'Baku could be a little better.
M'Baku could definitely be a little bit better, and Okoye needs to be able to dispel multiple buffs, because when an enemy has 6 buffs and she just dispels 1, it's good luck.
So that is good news for all the players that invested heavily in Wakandans and were expecting Wakandans to be the premier raid team like was advertised. But hopefully they will fix that thing. Next thing that happened this week, Datamines. We got some interesting ones here.
Oh, you're right. Never mind. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm not skipping ahead yet. We got we got a lot of good stuff, guys. We're on to Datamines right now. We got some good ones here. The first interesting one was this one about the Exo 7 Blitz, and yeah, it's about Falcon Blitz coming, but it also mentions a new orb. It said Exo 7 orb containing Falcon shards is available in this section of the Blitz store, the orb section of the Blitz store.
It's not actually a new orb. It's a new place for this orb. Those are the same Falcon orbs that were on sale, like when Falcon first came out, you could buy a Falcon offer. Those are the Exo 7 orbs. They're the ones that guarantee 6 shards, and you can get up to 180.
Okay, that's what you were talking about earlier. Okay,
that's what they are.
I misunderstood what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah, no, we already know about these orbs. What's interesting about that data mine is, and it could just be a typo in the data mine, but it looks like they're gonna put his like featured character orbs in the Blitz store while his Blitz is going on. Like you might be able to buy them with Blitz currency.
Oh, you think this is like a limited time thing while his Blitz is going on, maybe?
Yeah, so here's the comparison I make. And again, it like I think the most likely thing is like a typo in the data mine, but it just because we've never seen anything like this before.
No, there would be no typos in data mines. That's preposterous.
I know you're making a joke, but I'm on the fence with this one because on the one hand, like they could have just copy pasted like lines from another email and confused themselves. But but also like it could be the real deal, and they're trying something new. So the Kingpin orbs were originally just an orb you could buy with gold, right? Couldn't you originally buy it with gold?
I think so. Yeah. Yes.
And
it was during the gold milestones, and it was good
so
when you didn't know what to spend your gold on.
Yeah, it was originally just in the normal orb section, and now they moved it to the arena section, and you buy it, with arena credits. So I think the Falcon Orb they're trying, like you used to be able to just buy the Falcon Orb for cores. Now they're going to put it in the Blitz section and see if you'll spend Blitz credits on it.
So you got to make the choice: Falcon or war currency.
It is an interesting choice to have to make, but I like because you could get 180 shards from a single orb. It's not bad.
You get. I was talking about the Alliance leader about this. You get either one of the premier war characters, or you get to play war. You got to make the choice, and I think you got to. It's trying to find that balance of which one is more important.
Yep. What I've seen some people do is just pick like one day where they'll just be like Saturday Wars. We just phone it in Saturday Wars. Whoever gets us on Saturday, enjoy the easy win.
Yeah, I mean, I think more alliances are going to have to start shifting to that. They keep putting stuff like this in Blitz stores, right?
Yeah, maybe it's tough, or they're going to have to increase the amount of Blitz credits that we get, and they're trying to incentivize people to do more blitzing.
Oh, and that is something you guys discussed on the live stream, so we'll definitely get into that and the implications of that. Vulture looks like he's going to be a Blitz character starting on August 1st, and then another one on August 8th. Thoughts on Vulture coming to Blitz? I mean, it seems kind of standard Blitz characters as release methods, right?
Yeah, they do a lot of Blitz releases because it's quick and easy for them to do. They don't have to code a new event or anything. I would have something rather like Alpha Raids be for Vulture, of course, but
that'd be awesome.
Yeah. But I will say, if you've been trying to build a Sinister Six team, if you've got Rhino, if you've got Shocker, Vulture is the one that makes it all happen. He's the essential one. So if you're going for that Sinister Six team, you got to go for Vulture.
Yes, and there's one more that we're going to talk about in just a little bit, but we also got this new indication that another character is coming to the milestones, kind of a replacement for Captain Marvel that we had previously. Any you want to take any guesses on who this might be?
I mean, we only have two main guesses, and it's been those two main guesses the whole time. Yes. Some people are thinking Cyclops, some people are thinking Coulson.
If it was up to you, which one would you prefer to be in the milestones? There's pluses and negatives to that.
Oh no, I know exactly who I'd want it to be. I would want it to be Coulson.
All right. Why?
Why? Well, so Coulson has a good amount of utility. He is not about his raw damage. So while obviously you still want more stars on Coulson, Coulson would be ready to be used by your team. Like 4-star, 5-star. He's about ready to go, assuming that your team is all 7-star. He, his focus and resistance just has to be enough. He doesn't need to do tons of damage. He doesn't need giant amounts of health. He's not healing people based on his health, anything like that.
Makes
Utility
sense.
character in Milestone's good. Cyclops, all damage. So a 3-star Cyclops is not doing that good of a job at his job, which is just to hurt people. 4-star Cyclops, like, usable-ish. Yeah. 5-star Cyclops, like, all right, we're starting to turn it up, but, like, when it comes to just all damage characters, you need them as high as possible.
Yeah.
And if it's anything like Captain Marvel, that would mean a long time before Cyclops would be really ready to go.
Very, very true. Good points. I hope it is Coulson. I mean, both of these guys make their teams better. Coulson makes that S.H.I.E.L.D. team better. Cyclops makes that X-Men team better. So, looking forward to both of them. But I think your point about Coulson being there is a good one.
Yeah, I said it last time. It's unfortunate, like, even with Captain Marvel in particular, she is very star-reliant. Characters who heavily rely on their stats need higher stars. Characters who are more about their utility and just once their focus and resistance is enough, they can put work in. Much better for methods of accrual that are longer.
Yeah, definitely. And we also got a new kit come out. We've talked about the Datamine kit, and not very many changes. There are a few slight changes to Mysterio's kit that was revealed. What are your thoughts on it? What are your thoughts on his animation, and primarily the footage that we saw of the Sinister Six going into battle in Arena?
I actually have an interesting take on this. I think, yeah, his kit changes weren't that crazy. Definitely, you know, nothing revolutionary. I'm actually disappointed in his summons. They're kind of like just like Loki summons, but they can't even gain evade. So yeah, they're just like kind of weak summons that'll get like 1 or 2 extra basics in if it's like way at the end of a match. If he's still fresh, like just 1 AoE or splash damage will just like immediately kill them both. So
no, one thing I wasn't clear on, because the footage that we got, Mysterio never died.
I pointed that out to Cerebro actually.
Are these doing like special moves, or are they really getting Mysterio's basic?
Oh no, they just basic.
They just so they can remove buffs from the other team.
Yes, but that's it.
Well,
they just have a basic.
Bad. It's not bad. And can he be revived?
Nope. Oh, yeah. He can. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So you technically can have like a Sinister 8 on the field, right?
Yeah. We
joked
about it.
You need someone that revives from the Sinister 6.
Well, remember, originally we proposed a contest, and I'm down to honor it. You know, $25 in power cores. Whoever gets me the first screenshot of 10 Mysterio on the field.
Ooh, that is a challenge, guys. I think it's gonna be a lot harder than the last challenge you proposed.
Super tough. What you'd have to do to make this happen is you'd have to keep having Minerva revive him and get all of the summons to stay on the field.
And then Minerva needs to die.
Right.
And then Mysterio needs to die.
And then only the main Mysterio needs to die. It'll be incredibly difficult to do.
Oh. That would be very fun, though. That would be very fun. It can't be Photoshop. Don't Photoshop it.
Yeah. I'll know if you cheat. No, I need video. I need video footage. But, yeah, maybe put another $100 prize on that one or something. But
nice.
Anyway, so you know, his animations we already saw. I like them, but you know, it's kind of like a give and take when like really cool animations are attached to a character that's not that impressive. And I don't want to say that he's terrible. He's not terrible, but he's just so middling for someone that's been hyped up, and there's been all this mystery around him, and he's like the final member of the Sinister Six, the first iteration of the Sinister Six that we're getting, and he's just all right. Now, he has one use in particular that I really, really like him for, which is why I want him, and I don't think enough people are talking about it. He is a huge addition of reliability to not Sinister Six, but to Spider-Verse against Fury Shield. Spider-Verse already countered Fury Shield, but it was a little squirrely at times, because first off, there was always the opportunity for them to just focus fire a member of the Spider-Verse and kill him.
Yeah.
And then, in addition to that, you still, like, they have naturally high resistance, and so you needed to land a few things. For example, you needed to land Miles's Disrupt on shield security. And every once in a while that would get resisted, and then you were in for a bad time.
Very, very true. I didn't think about the focus for that Spider-Verse. Yeah,
so
very, very important.
Mysterio, yeah, giving all Spider-Verse focus really helps apply Carnage's debuffs to Nick Fury and Miles's Disrupt. And and 20% is a lot. And there's another advantage, which is you get some early heal block if you use Venom's Spread. However, Mysterio on turn 1 can just drop heal block.
Yeah.
So you can like not let them do any healing. As soon as Mysterio goes, like that's it, you've shut it down, and then you can follow up with additional heal block from Venom if you want. But so I think that he's going to be really good for shutting down Fury Shield team.
You want me to put you on the spot right here?
Please.
Because we saw the footage of Sinister Six punching across on the Shield team. What would be your ideal team? Spider-Verse, Sinister Six, whatever, punching up against Fury. Now that you know what Mysterio's final kit is.
Assuming that we can only use Spider-Verse and Sinister Six.
Yeah.
I think, and I'd have to think about it a little bit, but I want Mysterio, I want Venom, I want Carnage. Those 3 are a given.
Miles
you gotta have Green Goblins. Yeah, so let's go Green Goblin Miles.
Okay. That's the 5 guys. Theoretical, we'll have to wait to test it out, but on the record, off the top of your head, I like it. Good choices. All right, and now that brings us to the juice. Actually, there's more juice after this, but the initial juice, and that is your reaction from your live stream that you did with CM Cerebro. And this will be kind of highlights, guys. The main video is going to be on your page if you want to see the whole thing. There was so much in there, so let's just go over the highlights real quick.
Yeah, I'm still trying to make sense of everything. It was a huge day. My head is still spinning. I haven't even had 10 minutes to sit back and process what happened. There's already Reddit threads about it. Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, starting off, for those of you that don't know, I interviewed the community manager Cerebro live on my live stream, and it was on the front page of Twitch, and it went pretty crazy, like 3,000 concurrent viewers. It was insane.
Which hold on. What was your previous record? Because 3,000, that is a huge number.
That completely dwarfed my previous record of 700 and something on Twitch.
Yeah, so 3,000 is a lot.
Yep, the chat loved me 3,000.
Nice.
But yeah, it was an absolutely amazing day, which is why if I sound like I'm kind of lost, kind of out of it, it's just I've been pulled in 27 directions.
We understand. It was a long stream.
Yeah, but we got a lot of good news. So yeah, starting with the Greek raids. Mainly, it's just we asked what's up with the over-tuning and what's up with always changing the bosses and the mini bosses. And to my credit, I want to say called it. They basically said maybe we should have made this more clear, but we always want to change the mini bosses and the bosses. That's how we keep these Greek raids fresh, is we change up the bosses and the mini bosses each time, so there's a new challenge and it brings in the new characters. Which is what I said it seemed like they'd never formally made that clear, but
I wish they had done that so long time ago. Seriously, they would have stopped a lot of the blowback from some of these changes that were happening.
Yeah, but again, I was trying to tell people the whole time, it seems obvious that they're doing it on purpose. As soon as they did it to the second pass of the second one, I was like, oh, okay, this is just what they're doing. But anyway, so now they've officially cleared that up, but that doesn't address what a lot of people were really complaining about, which is that they made it so much harder. Yeah. Introducing new characters to it is one thing, and obviously, again, if they bumped it up, 10%, 15% harder, okay, yeah. But this one doubled or tripled
40 or 40% or more, right?
Yeah, this one got these gamma raids were way tougher, and so everyone was asking what the hell? And Fox came out and basically said our goal is not to trap you at a certain progression. We do want to make it a little bit fresher and a little bit more challenging, and this is what they said. They said we do feel like we overtuned this one. Yeah. Our bad. So they've heard that feedback, and they said we'll be much more mindful of this going forward. So do expect the next time you see a Greek raid to be a little bit tougher, because they'll have put newer tends to mean better characters on the boss and mini boss nodes. But just wild, crazy health pools and damage stats and armor and all that they went too heavy-handed on this one, and they're aware of that.
Yeah, a little bit on those boss and mini bosses, but I don't know. I'm kind of happy that they announced this. Now that I'm not happy about what they're doing, but I'm happy that they announced it. Now it's out in there, and this is what we can expect from now on. So.
Well, again, I don't mind it if most of the raid stays the same, and then they just add a couple new characters to the mini boss and boss zones. I don't mind that.
See, here's my argument. I don't mind them making it harder, but they need to increase the rewards as well. They're keeping the rewards the same for the most part, and the difficulties increasing, our rosters increasing, our need for these resources increasing. They need to increase the rewards as well if they do that. So if they're doing both, it's fine. But they're doing one and not the other. That's.
I'd support that. I'd support that if they kept tweaking the rewards each time. Now, so they did and they didn't. I'm not gonna sit here and say what are you talking about? They made rewards better. They didn't. But they did change the rewards.
They did. They didn't get better, in my opinion.
Right? No, again, you're absolutely right. No, we agree. We agree on this, and I'm not sitting here trying to defend what they've done. I'm just saying that they did change mini bosses and rewards, so they kinda got it. They need to be more cognizant of changing the rewards for the better, for sure. It needs to be clearly better. And when they change the boss and mini boss nodes, they need to be very clear that they're not making it wildly more difficult. Yeah. But I at least think they kind of get the concept. They probably felt like the rewards were better. Just we didn't.
Yeah, we've been over that the past 2 weeks, but yeah, the war's not better. Next topic is the changes potentially coming to Blitz. You guys talked about this for a while, and you mentioned a good suggestion to him. What are your thoughts on these potential changes coming to Blitz?
Well, so he didn't outline specifically what the changes would be. He basically just said, we're currently having a lot of active talks about how to make Blitz more fun and engaging, and that's just something we're tackling right now. So while I can't promise you that we're making XYZ changes, know that we're in the process of sorting out. We want to make Blitz more fun. Okay. The only goal is making Blitz more fun, and that's what we're looking at. So it's being worked on as we speak. It's not one of those things where it's like, oh yeah, we might have had a meeting about that a while back. Like, no, this is... We're tackling that. He literally said, like, I came in here from a meeting talking about making Blitz more fun. And again, definitely, just if you want to see everything that was discussed, go watch the whole Q&A. But I made sure to relay 2 things in particular. The first one, he already knew, which was, we can't be fighting defenders or defenders or defenders. That's not fun.
He plays the game. Fun. Anybody that plays the game knows, right?
Yeah, he cut me off and finished that sentence for me and was like, yeah, we know. So I assume since they know, it'll be addressed. I wasn't 100% confirmed, but if they know, I'm sure they'll do something about it. And then the other thing I made sure to communicate is most of the, there's obviously top 1,500 rewards, and then I'm just ballparking, I don't know what the number is, but there's maybe like 4,000 people that actually realistically stand a chance of being in the top 1,500. Mm-hmm. And everyone else, literally everyone else, doesn't even bother going for top 1,500 because they're not going to make it. They know, like, there's 4,000 people gunning for it. At least 1,500 of them will beat me. I would put in double the effort and not get the rewards. I'd be wasting my time. I'm just doing 1 to 10%. So I made sure to stress, like, you have to allow for people to break into that top bracket. My personal suggestion was make it a percentage, whether it's 1%, 0.5%, top 2%, whatever it is. Just that way, as the player base grows, more people who are on the cusp have a hope of, like, oh, I'm part of the top 2%. I made it in. You don't want, if it's top 1,500, if you're not in the top, whatever X players, you just can't get in.
Yeah.
So that's obviously not fun. Well. Obviously not fun. So I made sure, I don't know what they're going to come up with for that, but I was very clear, like, you got to do something about that.
Yeah.
So we'll see what they come up with.
All right, we also got a little bit of a leak from Cerebro in the most Khasino fashion, right?
little teaser for sure.
Something about they're aiming to release a new character, or aiming to rework some faction out there, right?
Yep. I asked him which faction is they're planning on reworking next, and he said, they're not ready to confirm, but he said they're aiming to rework a particular faction when they introduce a new character for that faction.
He's been watching you, I think. He's been watching you.
Maybe.
He also mentioned a new character with that faction, correct?
Yeah, that's pretty much what he said was.
I think when you mention a character, we know which one he's talking about, right?
I'll say this: if again, it wasn't confirmed, but it seemed to suggest the AIM faction will be getting the next rework. That's my assumption based on what I've heard, and I feel like if there's a new AIM character, it would probably have to be MODOK.
Yes.
I've not heard any rumors or anything about MODOK coming to the game, but
until tonight, earlier tonight, right?
well, again, I mean, this is all inference. I don't know what other characters fall under the AIM banner. And again, AIM wasn't outright explicitly stated, but yeah. If I had to put money on it, I'd put money on MODOK and an AIM rework, but yeah, only suggested, not confirmed.
Nice.
But I'd love to know in the comments if there are other AIM characters that we're not thinking of.
Yeah, I'm not super familiar with AIM as well. There's only one character that comes to my mind. Maybe there's a bunch of others out there that I don't know about. All right, this has been talked about for a while. We finally got confirmation that it's coming soon, and this has some positives and negatives. This is one thing you didn't really want to challenge too much on the stream, but subscriptions, and I guess primarily the rollout method of these subscriptions.
Yes, so we asked what's up with subscriptions. Are subscriptions still coming? And I was very caught off by this answer, caught off guard, that is, and that's, he was like, oh yeah, subscriptions, at this point we're probably a few weeks away. I was like, what? Did not see that coming. So for people asking, like, what does that mean? What does a subscription include? What's it going to cost? We have none of that information. So I don't think that it's worth getting into a huge panic over subscriptions yet anyway, because we don't know what they're going to cost. We don't know what they're going to give. It might be a very small thing. Could be a very huge game-changing thing. We don't know. But it looks like subscriptions are closer than we expect. And back when they very first mentioned subscriptions, they'd said this. So this wasn't new news, but it reaffirmed that the plan hadn't changed, which is, at first, you're only going to see subscriptions available to new players on iOS. That's where it's going to start. And then they said once they have it where they want it for new players on iOS, then they'll expand it to new players on Android devices. And once they have that where they want it, then they'll eventually make subscription plans available to everyone. But they wanna iron it out and work it out and figure out exactly what they want to offer. And so I have some interesting thoughts on this. I don't mind subscriptions, and currently there are not a lot of catch-up mechanics for newer players in the game, so I don't mind if newer players get spoiled with stuff that helps them catch up, because they're behind anyway. So, like, you know, for me and you, there are always going to be people like, what, that's not fair, they get a subscription and I don't. But it's like, even with the subscription, they're still not going to catch you.
I want them to catch up a little. You know, it makes it more fun if everybody's at a higher level, and, you know.
Yeah.
I don't want new players. You got to do that.
Yeah, I don't want new players just forever helplessly behind.
Yeah.
I don't want someone who started a month ago to be kicking my butt, but I would let them get kind of close. Maybe after a certain amount of time, be a threat, something like that.
Yeah.
What does concern me about this news is that they're doing iOS and Android separately. We have no idea how much time will be between those two things, but that seems problematic to me. If two people start on the same day, but they have different devices, and therefore one of them has the ability to purchase an advantage. Now, if the other person, instead of getting a subscription plan, chooses to spend the same amount of money on other resources instead, like power cores or something, if they can accomplish pretty much the same thing by spending about the same, it's not that big of a deal. But I'm hoping that it's not only on one platform for very long before the other one it's implemented for, because that could get a little messy.
There's a lot of question marks. It could be nothing, or it could be something big. So hopefully this turns out to be nothing. But
yeah, and I did issue that warning. I didn't straight up come out and be like, this could be a catastrophe. But I was like, make sure you keep an eye on that. You don't want to throw all the balance of the competitive landscape for newer players. Like, just be very careful with that. Yeah, and chat worded that even more harshly than I did, communicated about the same thing. And I think Cerebro realized pretty quick, like, oh, we will definitely keep an eye on that.
Yeah, definitely. Good
so, we'll see what happens.
Yes, we will.
That subject, is a little bit of temperamental subject matter for sure, but I do like that everything else is just awesome good news.
Yeah, the rest of the stuff is awesome. I'm excited about everything that we're going to hear from this point on. Let's talk about one thing that was discussed for a little while. Saved squads. Oh my goodness. How overdue is this?
Yeah, it's pretty necessary. But so yeah, save squads we're talking about, and basically so it was like we understand people need more save squads, and sounds perfectly reasonable. You should expect more save squads in the near future.
Thank goodness.
Yes. Awesome.
All right. Alternate versions of characters coming to the game. There are 3 characters mentioned in particular. You want to expand on what you guys talked about a little and some of your reactions to it?
Yeah, so he actually gave a different, he kind of answered a different question than what I'd asked. Not like trying to avoid the question. He ended up answering the question, but in a roundabout way. My original question was, like, have they decided one way or another whether they would do, like, whether they're avoiding alternate versions of a character because they're saving that for skins, or whether they would be okay having duplicate characters. That's my question. When I say duplicate characters, a good example is like the Iron Spider suit. If they introduced Iron Spider, which is a tech Spider-Man, it would still be Peter Parker. You could have him side by side with normal Spider-Man, and there you've got two Peter Parkers next to each other. Obviously, Iron Spider would function differently. So my question was like, are you definitely not doing that because you're saving it for a skin, or are you totally open to doing that? And the answer was they're totally open to doing that. But there was a disclaimer given, which is that it's not that pressing of an issue. Like, at this time, they are absolutely open to doing duplicate versions of characters, and they said the three that they kind of kick around in the office as like their go-to examples for that are Iron Spider, a skin for Thor, maybe like the Endgame Thor, or short hair Stormbreaker Thor, and the Hulkbuster suit for Iron Man. Those are like their three different enough to make them another version of the same character. Yes. But before people immediately are like, oh, we're going to get this alternate version of this character, we're going to get Ronan for Hawkeye and all this, he did say that it's kind of like a non-issue at the moment, because before they do any alternate versions of characters, they want to introduce what they consider like the classic version of more popular characters. So he was like, we could easily come up with 50 more unique classic characters that we don't even have one version of in the game.
Yeah. So
that's our priority. And then down the road, we're totally open to adding in, a duplicate version of a character, that's different enough to be their own character.
Yeah.
But he did stress, like, the priority is new characters that we don't even have one version of yet before we even get into that.
I think from a personal note, I would agree with that strategy. Just
I agree with the unique classic characters being the priority. Yeah. Me personally, I don't like duplicate characters as much. I'd rather them do skins, but that's just me. I said this when it came up like 5 news updates ago, where I was like, I wouldn't quit over duplicate characters. It's not my personal preference, but it's not a big deal. It's not game breaking to me. It's just a little immersion breaking. But as it is, I could fight 5 Hulks on one stage anyway. So
yeah. I mean, we see that in the raids all the time.
So, yeah, if you have characters from all these different universes anyway, so yeah, not a big deal.
Well, one character that you mentioned as a possible alternate version coming out was Thor. And Thor was mentioned specifically another time in the discussion about potentially getting a rework. And this was some very interesting news thrown out here.
Well, yes and no. It was, and then later it was followed up by a Reddit comment. But so, people wanted me to ask what's up with Thor, is Thor getting a rework? And so, I hadn't really posed that as a question. I just kind of threw that out there, like, hey, just so you know, a lot of people want to see a Thor rework.
Yes.
So, do with that what you will. And the response to that was something along the lines of, oh, we totally understand it would be good to, rework Thor. We try to do reworks when it makes sense to rework a character. So, for example, we gave Hulk a rework when Endgame came out, and then he went on to say, so it would make more sense to rework Thor when a new Asgardian comes out. And
this is where it gets juicy, guys. So
this is pretty good. I made a comment on Reddit. I mentioned that I may or may not have heard a rumor about a new Asgardian coming. Now, whether or not that rumor is true, it wouldn't be anytime super soon. We're talking probably a few months at least. Mm-hmm. But I'd heard some rumblings about an Asgardian character. Ooh. And I just threw that out there, like, yeah, maybe that's what Cerebro could be getting at. And then he did comment on Reddit and basically said, oh, my decoder ring must not be working.
You broke my secret lingo. That decoder ring I got on a server box is apparently worthless.
So I think it's safe to say Cerebro's strongly suggesting we'll get a new Asgardian and a Thor rework.
Nice.
So,
nice.
Yeah, I'm hella excited for whatever they come up with. I love the Asgardians.
I am too. I love them a lot. They're fun characters. All right, and the last thing, a new tag coming. This was kind of teased last week, sort of. that there was a new tag coming.
Oh yeah, so
he mentioned a tag. He mentioned a tag specifically, right?
Yeah, he officially confirmed a new tag coming to the game, and I kind of caused some of this confusion. So I was trying to find a way to leak without actually leaking. Like I wanted to say something, but not actually be responsible for having said anything, and I was in a really difficult position. But I think I was pretty creative about it, and so I mentioned that. With new characters coming out, that they are not a team in the sense that like you would never think of them grouped together and be like, oh, that team, but that there was a tag that would apply to all of them, which could mean in some sense in the game they function as a team because they share the tag. And I was very confident that no one would guess what that tag is because it's not a team. It's just an interesting tag, and Cerebro went ahead and officially announced what that tag was on the live stream earlier.
He said for everybody that didn't.
I'm happy to, and yes. I told you no one would guess it.
I don't think anybody did. I don't think anybody did in the comments.
No, nobody guessed it. I knew full well no one even stood a chance of guessing it, which is why I was okay with saying it. The tag is Marvel 80th. And it is to commemorate the 80th anniversary of Marvel and the issue number 1000 of the Marvel Comics.
Nice. Well, leave your comments, guys. Who do you think that could mean is coming to the game? It could go many different directions. Interested to see what you guys think.
But yeah, so again, just to help you out with information we already put out there, the characters that are going to have the Marvel 80th tag are not characters that... and again, they may have worked together in the comics at some point. But
I'm sure that with all the different combinations of the comics, they probably have it.
Yeah, they probably had some run-ins. But yeah, it's just the only thing that I think is going to strongly unify the characters is the Marvel 80th tag. But he also mentioned that there would be like some limited time events that specifically call for that tag. So there might be like a special in-game event using Marvel 80th characters, but.
Interesting.
Yeah, so
interesting.
Now you guys have a few more hints. See what you can come up with. Leave your guesses for which new characters it would make sense to put that tag on in the comments below.
Nice. Well, that was a very huge news-filled week. We got through it a little quicker than I thought, actually. So I'm glad that we got through it this quickly. I know it still went our normal length. But you got the full interview on your channel, right?
Yes.
Cool. Well, check out Khasino's channel and tell everybody else where else they could find you. You're all over the place, man.
Well, so I actually have something to add to it this time. So I am all over the place. I stream Marvel Strike Force on Twitch TV every single day at 1 p.m. Pacific time. Anyone's welcome to join my Discord, discord.gg/Khasino. We got Blitz predictions, infographics, videos, content creator Q&A. Valley hangs out on there. You can talk to him and me is on there as well. But the one I want to add this time is you can also find me at San Diego Comic-Con.
Ooh.
I got a last-minute badge. I booked my flights, and
nice.
Yeah, I'll be at San Diego Comic-Con. So if you'll be there, hit me up on Discord, and we'll meet up. Say what's up.
Some Khasino love in person, guys. Love it. Well,
I don't want to promise them love, but.
All right, you could show him love if you want to.
I'll guarantee a high five.
Yeah, cool. You heard it here first, guys. All right, well, thank you guys for joining us. I hope you had fun, as much fun as we did recording this. A lot of news, guys. I hope you guys liked the news. If you did like the news, make sure you check out Khasino's channel and subscribe to this channel. Make sure you guys join the notification squad. Check out some of the links down below, guys. It supports the channel, and I will see you next time. Hulk fist bump, ValleyFlyin, out!